Hello everyone, welcome back to Quest for Glory 2. Okay, now that we've actually started the game and made that much progress, I think I can probably, I can take a little bit more time to, we can take a time out to talk a little bit about what's going on. This Let's Play, like I think I said in the previous video, is going to be a little bit of a split. I'm going to try and walk the line between exploring everything and, not taking too much time. I don't want to get too caught up in long conversations or scenes for several minutes at a time or several videos at a time, because it would just get tedious. There are a lot of things you can talk about in this game, and most of them aren't really crucial or even that important, and so I don't want to waste too much time and bore you all with a lot of talking, but I probably still will. I just want to say ahead of time, I probably will spend a lot of time. This Quest for Glory 2 is my favorite game in the Quest for Glory series, and this remake is still pretty new to me, so I do want to kind of savor the experience. So I probably will spend a lot of time, so this is probably going to drag a lot. I'm sorry, this is probably not going to be a Let's Play for impatient people who just want a lot of action. And I do want to just warn folks in advance also, I probably will do a lot of complaining, because even though this is my favorite game in the series, I am kind of a purist. There are a lot of great things about the remake. I mean, it's a fantastic remake, and there are some things that are really great about it, but there are also some things that kind of rub me the wrong way. Like, for example, this point-and-click interface. I mentioned before, I don't really... I mean, the point-and-click interface itself isn't bad, but I would have appreciated the ability to type commands in, to have a text parser. And the developers of the game actually commented on that when I brought it up a long time ago, like a year ago, or probably more than a year ago, and they said they thought about doing that. They thought about actually implementing a text parser option, and ultimately they didn't do it just because they figured most people wouldn't use it. The honest truth is that most people prefer the point-and-click interface. Most people don't like typing in their commands. I like to type commands because it gives you a much broader range of what you can do. I mean, really, with an interface like this, how many different ways can you interact with an object? You can look at it, you can talk to it, and then every other action is just grouped under this action cursor, this hand cursor, which to me just doesn't seem right. To my mind, there should be, there are thousands of verbs in the English language. With a text parser, you can type in whatever verb you want to use, but with this, it's just basically, whatever action the game thinks you want to perform on an object. So, like I said, the developers said they considered it, and they eventually decided it would just be too much work for something that hardly anyone would use, and I guess they have a point. What else? I'm gonna try to stick with videos that are around 10 minutes, because I am using Cam Studio, and it seems that at the high quality, I'm trying to record these videos in relatively high quality, and at the recording quality that I'm using, even 10 minutes gives me like a 2 gig video file before I compress it. And as we all know, Cam Studio can't record videos of longer than or larger than 2 gigs, which kind of puts a bottleneck on things. So I'm probably going to keep it to around 10 minutes, which I've already used up a third of. So let's go ahead and start playing the game, and we'll see how things go. So we're in the Kata's Tail Inn. We've just started the game. Let's take a look around. So the inn has delicious smells and a delightful ambience. You give it 3.5 stars. I wonder if that's out of 4 or 5 stars. The world may never know. These things on the tables are oil lamps, obviously. This over here is another oil lamp. Batteries not included or even necessary. This is a large brass bottle. What a genie it could hold. There's a, oh, it doesn't talk about the rug on the floor. What about this rope? It is a braided rope. And, these things are pillows that people can sit on, which I guess are more comfortable than wooden chairs. Yeah, apparently the convention here is to sit on a pillow on the floor instead of in a chair. This, of course, is our good friend Shamin. He is a kata, who we met in the first game, and he's licking his paw. It's kind of, I understand why they have him lick his paw like that. I mean, he is a cat, or a kata, so it makes sense that he would do that. It just kind of looks weird when he does that. And this is Abdulla, our friend, whose treasure we recovered after he had it stolen from him by the brigands. That happened back in Spielberg. I suspect he's gained quite a few pounds since his return. I think he always was kind of a hefty guy, but I guess he's become more so since then. So let's go ahead and talk to Abdullah. If you've been watching Lukagen's Let's Play of Quest for Glory 3, you've noticed that she always clicks the talk cursor on herself so that she can greet characters before anything else. I don't think that's really necessary. I think it's just it may have some benefits like increasing your communication skill, and sometimes I think it puts characters in a better mood, but it doesn't really, it's not strictly necessary, but I'll go ahead and do it because, hey, why not? So Abdullah says, oh yeah, these character portraits are another thing I'm kind of ambivalent about. Some of them are, well, most of them are really good. I mean, most of the character portraits are very well done. Some of them are a little bit cartoonish, and some of them are kind of silly, but I'll probably have more to say about that later. This one is pretty normal and natural. I mean, this is pretty much exactly what you'd expect a guy like Abdullah to look like. Anyway, good day, my fine friend. I trust you're finding your stay in Shapir interesting. There is always so much to see and do here. You have the option with some characters of making the thief sign. That's something that I'm going to try to avoid doing, because in some cases it'll actually make them very angry. Most of the time I think people don't realize what it is, but if somebody actually recognizes it, they may become very angry if they don't like thieves. So I'll probably only use that if I actually have, if there's a good reason to use it. So let's talk to Abdullah. I'm Abdullah Do. It is an old family name. Daily news. Yeah, remember that this game takes place over the course of 30 days, and most days have some kind of a special event that happens just on that day, so different characters may report different things about the specific day that's going on right now. I don't think he has anything to report right now. He talks about Rasir. I've heard that Rasir has become a grim and unpleasant place to be now that my good friend Aris is no longer the Emir. He tells about rumors. I've heard that in Rasir they now forbid people to speak to one another. How can one live in such a way? I don't know. I didn't think of people who I would prefer to forbid to speak to me. But I guess it would be pretty unpleasant if, by law, a whole city had to live that way. It would kind of be like living in New York or something. He can tell us about Shapir. Yeah, he says it's plagued with elementals and jinns. We don't really need to worry about the jinns, but we will see some elementals later in the game that we'll have to deal with. And, oh man, there's so much to ask about. We can ask about all these things in the city now. So the inn has, yeah, free food and drink, friends and entertainment, what better place to be. Food, Shima's cooking is fantastic. Truly the Kata are friends beyond measure. Bazaar. Yeah, there are plazas and marketplaces in the city. Thieves Guild. Thieves Guild? What need have you for thieves? There is no such guild in this fair city. That's true, actually. There is no Thieves Guild in Shapir, but there is something almost as good, which will actually possibly even better, and we'll find about that. Find out about that later in the game. We can ask about the Jinn. I do find it funny that he says they're capable of tearing a man limb from limb, although I've never personally experienced this. The Kata make great neighbors and friends, and Shamin and Shima are the finest of Katas. Let's see. Like a cat, Shamin lands upon his paws wherever he goes. This inn is the oasis of culture for Shapir. And Shima? Ah, the enchanting Shima. Her dance must be seen to be savored. Yeah, in this game people get really excited about Shima's dance. It's kind of creepy. Tell us about the desert. Oh yeah, this is also kind of funny. He says, only brave men or fools dare go to the desert. I used to travel through the desert often. Monsters. Doesn't have much to say about monsters. Rasir. Rasir and Shapir were sister cities, separated by the sands of the desert. Now it is said that the fountain of Rasir runs no more, and that the city's soul has shriveled like a grape in the sun. He tells about the Emir. Aris was the kindest of men, quick to hug you and call you brother, but I must admit that he was not very brave. Aris? He was a generous and friendly man, and Rasir was a place worth living. Now Aris is lost, his brother sits on his throne, and Rasir stagnates. Alright, we'll hear more about Rasir later, and you can even reminisce about Shapir. You can even talk about his carpet and his treasure, which he says there's no greater treasure than friendship. Okay. Brigands. Yeah, let's not talk about the brigands. Okay, I think we're finally done. Let's go ahead and say goodbye to Abdullah. Enjoy the sights of Shapir, O hero. And actually that makes him stand up, which I didn't want to do because I still want to order breakfast. But I've hit 10 minutes for this video, and I don't want to go too much over that, so I'll go ahead and save here as stood up. Yes, folks, in the first actual gameplay video, I made so much progress that I actually got up out of my seat. This has been an awesome 10 minutes, spending 10 minutes doing nothing, but and then standing up. Seriously, it takes a long time to stand up sometimes. Alright, folks, I'm going to go ahead and call the video for now. I'm sorry for taking so long. I'm hoping that once we see the different things around the city, it'll go a little bit faster. But yeah, I want to spend my time exploring the sights of the city because, you know, Shapir is a magical city. I hope you've enjoyed watching, everyone. I will see you folks in a later video. Bye-bye for now.